Hi guys. My spirit-free adventures. I think that's the first time I've kind of said that out loud. Spirit-free adventures. I'm still not quite used to it, but I kind of like the ring to it. Anyway, we're going to have a little bit of a science lesson, a little bit of a food health coach lesson, and I'm not a health coach. I have studied and read tons about nutrition and all that, so I know some stuff, but I had to do a lot of research for today. And this subject, sugar cravings after giving up alcohol, has come up a lot on different posts that you guys have written. Like, what the hell? I didn't even eat desserts. Like, I didn't even care about sugar, and now it's like I'm thinking about sugar constantly and what is going on, and maybe now I should be giving up sugar too. So I wanted to address this issue and share some of the research I did with you. So yeah, there is, and I struggle, I don't know if I want to say I struggle with it. I kind of just give into it. I have a dessert every night and a little bit of sugar during the day, but mostly it's at night, and we'll talk about that later, like why you're craving it. There's different reasons. I mean, there's some big reasons, but there's different reasons. So one of the big reasons is that sugar causes the release of serotonin and dopamine, your feel-good neurotransmitters or brain chemicals. And part of what's happening is that when you subtract the booze, your brain screams at you to get relief from other substances that behave similarly in the body, like from carbs and sugar, because carbs are mostly sugar. Most of the carbs, there are good carbs that don't have the bad sugar in it. So also, like, you could be craving more caffeine or smoking, pot, painkillers, hopefully not all of those, maybe just sugar and one other, I don't know. But if you are, you are. It's called addiction transfer, and it's really common. So what's more, this is an interesting fact, and I don't think all of you are binge drinkers, but over 95% of binge drinkers are prone to hypoglycemia or low blood sugar. The glucose in your blood, or simple sugar, is your brain's fuel source. So when it's low, you may feel irritable, anxious, or shaky. And just know this, that sugar craving is not an issue of willpower. You are literally fighting against your physiology, and nature always wins. So you can give your body what it needs in other ways and eventually not feel controlled by sugar cravings. So that's what our topic is today. So the first, to answer your question, what can you do about curbing those sugar cravings? So you are doing a really hard thing. You've given up alcohol, and now you feel like you have to give up sugar totally, which, I don't necessarily think that's true. I just want to give you some insight into it and some options for other ways of curbing those cravings and all that kind of stuff. So, I've said this before on day 4 when it was January 6th and things were really bad in this country. I was like, if you want to eat fucking ice cream for dinner, eat ice cream for dinner. I think we're a little past that point, but if you really don't want to drink and you want to stay on the path and you need to eat ice cream for dinner, then do it. But your body and brain are really still in a healing state and working to get back to homeostasis. And it feels uncomfortable, and it takes time. So remember what's happening to your body. It's having difficulty to regulate blood sugar levels, and your brain is having trouble making you feel happy because your dopamine pathways have gone a little haywire. So that's why you're having these sugar craving. And what you're essentially doing is sugar is manually taking control over these two mechanisms for a while until your system is more balanced, and it'll get there. A little stat for you from the American Heart Association. This was a little crazy for me. I mean, we don't actually need refined sugar. We don't have to have sugar in our bodies, but the American Heart Association recommends limiting the amount of added sugars you consume to no more than half your daily discretionary calories allowance. That's a mouthful. So for most, simply put, for most American women, that's no more than 100 calories per day, or about 6 teaspoons of sugar. And for men, it's 150 calories per day, or about 9 teaspoons of sugar. That's not much, right? So what heals is time and patience. What doesn't heal is beating the crap out of yourself every time you have something sugary. So don't do that. It's just going to make things worse. And don't go back and eat double of what you just had, because that's going to make it worse too. So that said, if eating sugar causes you distress, making you feel unwell, or you're uncomfortable because now you have a sugar monkey on your back instead of a booze monkey, there are ways to ease the cravings. So let's go over them. First of all, eat at regular intervals. Don't wait until your body is your stomach's growling and you're climbing the walls. That's going to create, in your brain, you're going to release cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and saying there's something wrong in your body. So it puts you in that fight or flight place. You don't want to be there. So please just eat at every 4 hours or a little bit before you start getting really hungry. And don't skip meals. Don't wait 7 hours in between lunch and dinner. And whether you're paleo or vegetarian or gluten-free or vegan, what your body needs is similar: enough fat, protein, and fiber to keep you satisfied and to keep your blood sugar levels stable. Also, don't just grab a bagel. I know a lot of times when I'm really hungry, I want the sugary fast thing, the fast, easy thing. Refined carbs like bagels and a lot of breads, white flour, white rice, they quickly absorb into the bloodstream because they lack the fiber and other nutrients that break down slowly, and they, which is the thing that you need to keep your energy even. So by eating these, what happens is that your blood sugar shoots up quickly, it spikes, and you feel pretty good. And you always feel good, after that first drink where you're like, woo, feeling good. But then it comes crashing down, your blood sugar comes crashing down again after a short while, and you feel edgy and crabby. Again, the good proteins and fat, and lots of veggies if you can, and fruit. So trying to get off that roller coaster. Protein's really important, and if people who were drinking heavily or drinking quite a bit have low blood sugar and they're eating, protein basically reduces the cravings for sugar, and it ups your GABA production, and GABA is an inhibitory neurotransmitter. I'm getting fancy with you. So basically it's this neurotransmitter in the brain, GABA, which helps reduce or stabilize our anxiety. It makes us feel calm, which is nice. And so fueling up on protein, fat, and fiber not only helps balance the blood sugar levels, but these macronutrients provide your body with the raw materials to heal and rebalance. So we want to up our GABA. Yeah. And then just, really starting off your day right. Even if you're doing that intermittent fasting thing where you don't eat for 12 or 14 hours, even if you don't eat breakfast until noon, make sure you start off breakfast with something substantial, like eggs and avocado, or a protein smoothie, adding almond butter for extra good fat, or overnight oats, but add some kind of protein like walnuts to this, because that again is a high carb breakfast that can cause energy crashes too. And in the afternoon, we want to prep for the afternoon energy dip, and sugar cravings can peak later in the day. So again, you're going to go for the high protein snack, like hard-boiled eggs, nuts, a low sugar protein bar, or snag a fruit for a sweet treat. It may sound like a consolation prize, but a juicy, high fiber like navel orange or a peach, or even a fresh fig topped with goat cheese or almond butter. I like celery with almond butter. That's a really good, it fills you up, keeps you going for a while too. And also, I think dark chocolate I can't speak for you. I think the good dark chocolate, I think it's 70% cacao, and I totally mispronounced that word, I think it's okay. I do a lot of like a big grab of nuts, like almonds and walnuts and some good nuts. Where's my nuts that I love? Anyway, they're called barukas, and they're like the new latest craze in nuts. This guy named Darren O'Lean promotes them, so you could follow him on Instagram, and they're superfoods. I'm constantly grabbing a handful of those, and they're a really good source of protein and fat, and they're really good with antioxidants and all that good stuff. So anyway, I love to grab like some dark chocolate with a handful of nuts, and that sustains me as well. And let's see what else. This is interesting, the fermented foods. Now I know fermented foods have a little bit of alcohol in it, if you're okay with that. I mean, it's real little. It's like traces of alcohol. Raw fermented foods can help crave sugar, can help with your sugar cravings. They have to be you can't cook them. They have to be the stuff that's in the refrigerator that goes bad quickly, all like the real fermented foods, but they can help with sugar cravings. So that's another option. Don't skimp on food. If you're not getting enough calories, that's not a good thing. Again, your cortisol levels. So don't skip on food. Eat your normal meal. Like even if you're doing the intermittent fasting, try to not get really hungry. Protect your sleep. Research has found that lack of sleep contributes to sugar cravings along with dozens of other side effects. So getting a good night's sleep is critical for almost every aspect of your life and your recovery from whether it's booze or sugar or whatever you're recovering from. Sleep is you're restored. It's the way your body restores itself. And I did a segment on sleep pretty early on in our sober adventure, like maybe week 2 I did something on sugar, or even week 1 if you want to go back and watch it. So moving your body, I know we always say this, but exercise will help sugar cravings and your mood. And especially if you take it outside and get some sunshine, being out in the sun boosts dopamine and your vitamin D and just makes you feel pretty damn good. So get outside, that helps. I also heard it helps with your appestat, the thing that controls your appetite too, so you're not like gorging. So working out every day or even just moving your body every day will help with that. And don't, our bodies have incredible wisdom. So even if you're craving a food or other substance that isn't doing your health any favors in early sobriety, just know your body's trying to get back into balance. It's just doing what it knows how to do. And just like booze, cutting out sugar does take like at least 40 to 60 days to break a habit. You can go cold turkey, and they said, look, it sucks the first 12 to 74 hours, but if you do if you want to really cut out sugar completely, you can do that. And within 72 hours, maybe 2 to 4 days, you won't have those cravings anymore. It's way harder, but you can do it. You can do it like that if you want. You can still have the natural forms of sugar from fruit and some other things. But yeah, you can do that. I feel like just doing a little bit of the fruit and some chocolate here and there and some of the more natural fruit sources. Stevia, if you want to put a little stevia in your coffee, and monk fruit, or I don't know, there's you guys can jump in. I know there's some health coaches on here of sugar substitutes, that the healthy ones and not healthy ones, but so I'm gonna put a link underneath this video. It's Annie Grace with Molly Carmel, who wrote a book called Breaking Up with Sugar, and it's a podcast on your relationship with sugar and food. And it's not just about sugar, it's really about food too, because we have a relationship with food. Unlike alcohol, we can't give up food, right? We have to eat. So we all have different relationships with food, and there's a lot of our relationships with food is, I don't know, some people have really rough relationships with food. So I want this week to, whether it's good or bad, I don't want you to really judge it. I just want you to explore and have awareness around it, like you've gotten awareness around drinking. So I did a couple journal reflections for you all on your relationship to food that I'd like you to work on this week. And the quote of the week is, self-awareness is the ability to take an honest look at your life without any attachment to it being right or wrong, good or bad. That's by Debbie Ford. We can do hard things. You guys are doing amazing. I love our small group. It's really nice. And any of you health coaches, jump in with your own suggestions, because I am not a nutrition expert. And happy Tuesday. All right, actually it's Wednesday. Happy Wonderless Wednesday. And happy 50-something days to most of you. You're doing amazing. I'll see you soon.